Welcome back to a stabby edition, a super stab edition of Hooky Hour, where we're stabbing things and getting away with murder. Not for long though. Phoenix Wright is going to catch us eventually. But for now, we're having fun out here in the courtroom. Woohoo! Men. Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way possible? It was very important, I think. There's a big contradiction with her about that whole jacket thing. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Oh, that's a classic objection. I miss it. I missed it a lot while playing this game. Then perhaps you would like to point out at what part of that testimony was important. Come on, Edgeworth, don't you see it? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but all right, witness, please. Oh, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must, he was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Well, honestly, it's all just for show. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket? What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. Well, I'm sure he was wearing it. She is so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption. She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us, really bad. Wait, how is she not lying? Oh, wait. Okay, maybe not lying about, like, seeing Juan or Matt come out of the room. That's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? Anything with that, really. That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Alright. So I think we definitely want to try to sneak his way. He was wearing his flashing racing jacket. Yeah, right. He was actually wearing the hakama. It was ripped from his costume, is covered in Corda's blood found in Onguard's hakama. See? I remember that word. The hakama. Hakama! Hakama! It sounds like a fighting game move. Lend the shoryu into hakama. Miss Oldbag? What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? It's a button. It's button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Where'd you find it? It's globally wanted tradable. Goes for 10 million on eBay. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this. Oh wow, she really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood. And cover it in more blood from the looks of it. This button was discovered on Mr. Onguard's body during a full-body search. See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal Onguard. He was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants. See, he was wearing pants. And Onguard is the nickel samurai. Witness? Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say the defendant, Matt Onguard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. I wore the trendiest dress, but instead I have to ridiculous outfit. You know you can change out of that at any time, right? It's heavy. The CDs, Dream Alive, I work hard. Now understand, take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are as interesting as a documentary on curling. Edgy poo. Style. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Now hold your tongue still there for a second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Onguard, the man, but Mr. Onguard, the nickel samurai? But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway. Miss Old Bag, this is a very simple or important point we're talking about. Edgy Poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Never. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. All right, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. All right, who I saw. On guard, yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the samurai I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor one. Sorry, I really try to keep back a yawn, but oh man. For anyone watching this, I'm so sorry. That's it. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But I'm not a bad boy. Not little either. The possibility does exist. Well, youngins today, I told you there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so. And what I say is the truth. Okay. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Please. Or don't. Okay. On God, yes, now I remember. Would you please get on with your testimony? Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. What is... It's not like I'm just like smacking on peanut butter with that accent. If you keep barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs. Nobody wants that. What? A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the Nickel Samurai. She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please shut her the hell up? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. Okay, you promise, White. Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Aw. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai I saw. I did see it. Please be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not. Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this: when you were a itty bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper? What do you want to be when you grow up, Phoenix, at age 24, or whatever his age is? My dream, huh? Well, I, wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what? See? And look at where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? Oh, come on. The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies? Since, we had a whole court case about a circus. All that matters is that man was inside the costume. Isn't that enough? Also, that's pretty cute that Phoenix wanted to be a, I even got an achievement for it, Judge Wagner. Very cool. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. And why would that be? That way, no one could see his face, of course. There's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more. Oh. You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say. Is that what you're always doing to me? Well, I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume. Cool. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the climb. You know. Is there anyone else scheduled to appear at this post-ceremony show? Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing. That included the Jammin' Ninja? Of course it included him. That's why he, when On Guard came out of Diawan's room, I didn't give it a second thought. I see. Well, anyway. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Are we sure about that? So let me ask you this one last time. The person you saw, it really was the nickel samurai. As sure we as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? Can I throw in the towel yet? You know, screw it. Matt On Guard is guilty. I'm going home. You don't need to think too hard on this one. Huh? There's a contradiction in her testimony and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. What? On guard, yes, now I remember. I don't think it's that one. That's right, it was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have to have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Oh, wait, no, if he was, we were doing the stabby stab. Hold on, let me confirm something. Okay. He was doing the stabby stab, and there's blood on the knife and blood on the button. Wouldn't there be blood on the costume? What do you think of that game, huh? Did I crack the code, or am I jumping the gun? I know there was one time I jumped the gun so hard on like one of the first game, or on the one of the trials of the first game, that like it took like an hour to loop back around to, and eventually I was right. So I know this game's logic can, you know, how to read the game's logic, but okay, that's my current theory right now. So if you're stabby someone, you get the bloody blood everywhere. So why wasn't it on? On his costume, right? Did we ever get I guess we wouldn't be able to know, would we, if there was blood? I feel like somebody would have mentioned it, right? There was blood? I don't remember the game ever mentioning there was ever like a report about him having blood on him. So then what do we present here? Where do we present? He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. It would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. Oh, but wait, he was gonna go to the post-ceremony stage show dressed up as the samurai, wasn't he? So yeah, he doesn't have any reason to kill in the costume. So he couldn't have been wearing the costume. Or shouldn't have been anyways, unless, you know, our man is just that dumb. Or if there's a second costume somewhere, ooh. Anyways, okay, so I feel like it's gotta be one of these two that I've gotta present, considering they got blood on them. So let's save real quick. Alright. Alright, let's go with the knife first. We're just gonna go left to right. Oh. Alright, well. Guess, that one's for me. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you are trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. Oh no, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to the case? You don't even have to ask, because it's the defendant's fingerprints. Yep. Is that what you're deriving at? Deriving? That is exactly what I'm deriving at. What are we deriving at? And whose car are we deriving? If Mr. OnGuard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Oh. Alright. Yeah, I guess I kinda got that right. I'll just call it a sideways win. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. But wouldn't he have blood on the costume? And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent for murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show, which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before from my celebrity gossip websites and Facebook. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? It sucks. So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? He had no intent of killing him? Trying to think, why would he go to Mr. Corda's room in the first place? I guess we haven't really talked about that, have we? Are there any problems with this theory? Let's think about it one more time. I want to get the full... I think I need a little more time on this one. So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? What a chin stroker. I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's a thing. Let me save real quick. Let me try it at least. I'm gonna go with no. Alright, I can't see any real problems with this theory. But if you let Edgeworth's theory stand, then we're one very large step closer to a guilty verdict. Look at the court record again and take another shot at it. Yeah, I just have to think about it one more time. Mr. Wright, please make your decision soon. Alright, so there is a contradiction if that's what we're being led to. But, there is one contradiction that's also unaddressed in that we need to go to the next Hooky Hour to decide and figure out and witness all those things first. So this one cannot continue for very long. So we must come to a compromise, and that is, I will see you next time. Bye.